Coming to you live from Manchester, bringing you all the latest Manchester United updates, everything going on in the transfer window. We are discussing the Aurélien Tchouaméni situation again. There has been more updates and more developments going on with this triangle transfer effect. I'm going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Ollie Watkins as well, back in the headlines. There's a few different things happening today with other clubs that are definitely impacting Manchester United as well. And just in the last hour as well, actually, someone in for Radek Vitek, which we were speaking about earlier on this morning. Interest from a big championship side for him. Could this be more money coming in for Manchester United? I'll update you on that as well. Get your comments in, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions on everything going on again, everybody. Get into that chat and let me know what you're thinking and what you see happening here with everything that's going on today, because there's a lot of movement.
Same agents as Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid have reached an agreement on contract terms. Salary, length of the contract, 5 years, 2031, and also the details of the salary. Everything is in place. Then, guys, we have to mention more things. Something to clarify on Man United. There is a difference on two profiles being linked over the recent days. I would say 2-3 profiles. Because Danilo from Brazil is a player who has been offered to Man United. It's not a negotiation started from Man United. Manu Kone is a player that Manchester United have under consideration. Man United spoke to the agents of the player. Man United had concrete conversations with the agents of the player, but Man United are yet to reach out to Roma because they are yet to decide which player they want as defensive midfielder. So Man United have not started an official negotiation with Roma, have not sent an official bid for Manu Kone because of what they want to do in midfield. But Danilo has been offered to United. United called the agents of Manu Kone, so it's different, but yet to be a club-to-club negotiation. So Man United could go for a different midfielder. It's still an open story. And for example, Baleba is also a player who would be super keen on joining Manchester United. Already 1 year ago, Baleba wanted to go to Man United, but on this one, it's on Man United to decide if they want to return in talks with Brighton or not. So that's the status around these players. That's the status around these midfielders.
And do you know what? It's not mainly Man United in the news per se, but what is happening out there in the transfer market, in particular today, is having a huge impact on what happens with Manchester United. So, in terms of the situation with Tchouameni, that's where we want to start. By the way, we are earlier today on the stream. A few bits going on later on for me. So we're getting the news out early this Saturday afternoon. If you are playing catch up later on and just following on with the show, then please do get your comments in below and let me know. Back on schedule again tomorrow, so no problems there. And of course, again, apologies for the changing of schedules. It's just what it is sometimes at weekend, especially with moving out and everything like that. So yeah, thank you again. Get your comments in. Right, this and where we're at today and what has been the latest development from when we spoke first thing this morning. And this morning we were talking about what Simon Stone said and what other actual media outlets were talking about regarding the Tchouameni situation, the confidence within Manchester United that this deal can still get done. Now, Simon Stone's on another update, and he's obviously doing a lot of talking and doing the rounds at the moment on different podcasts and whatnot, and talking openly about what's going on. But it seems to be a day-by-day update on the Tchouameni situation at the moment, with more and more information starting to come out every single day. And I think this latest update from Simon Stone is quite clear, but obviously there is an element of Manchester United briefing in this statement as well. It's not a statement, but there's a bit of United briefing in this piece here from Simon Stone of the BBC. And this is what he said. Now, it seems Real Madrid are now willing to discuss Aurélien Tchouameni's situation amid claims they want Rodri. I'll update you on Rodri in just a moment, which does have a massive impact on Manchester United with that transfer. Yet Tchouameni's likely salary and potential transfer fee directly contradicts Manchester United's aim of keeping control of budgets at a time when they are looking for a left-sided player and a forward to complement Benjamin Sesko. So what he's saying is they don't want to go crazy over budget here because they're still looking for a striker. They're still looking for another left-sided player, more likely a fullback now. So what that is Manchester United briefing a Manchester correspondent who they see literally every single week. They don't see Ben Jacobs every single week. They don't see Romano, Ornstein, these other journalists that will go in with the bigger stories, because let's be honest, they're the ones that are the big story breakers, like your Mike Keegan, your obviously Ben Jacobs, Romano, Ornstein. These types of journalists come out and just say it as it is from their contacts and their sources, whereas the correspondents, they're fed the information from Manchester United, of which is going to constantly be played down because they don't want to give anything away. They're trying to keep it stum, but United obviously looking at Tchouameni and have been looking at Tchouameni, and they've made it known that they want this player. I think they've approached Tchouameni differently. So Simon Stone knowing, Samuel Lucas knowing, all of the correspondents around Manchester United knowing, like I said, that's a different story to what everyone else is saying. So what Simon Stone is saying here is, with regards to Tchouameni, we'll update you on the Rodri situation in a moment because it is moving fast now. So if indeed the opportunity comes for Manchester United to go for Tchouameni, they will go. Simon Stone here, this is being briefed by the club, of course, and they're saying that they want to keep the wage budget down, restructure the wages and everything like that, and they want their biggest earners out on the pitch. We know that, and that's a line that's come out of United a lot. But them saying that the transfer fee, the wages, them still needing to buy 2 more players, obviously the left back and the striker, I think that's the word from United. They're trying to keep everyone thinking that United haven't got loads of money. Look, we know we've still got quite a lot of money to spend this summer yet. A big chunk of it will be taken if we go for Tchouameni. I think they're aware of that. But then can Manchester United get a fullback and a striker with what's left of that money? Well, they're able to get another striker if they sell Joshua Zirkzee. So we know that that's got nothing to do whatsoever with a transfer fee for Tchouameni. So cancel out the striker. The left back is where the budget is and what United want to do. There is big money to be spent. You could go and get Tchouameni, you could go and get Lewis Hall, and you could go and get Danny Welbeck straight away if you wanted to do it that way. That's one way of doing it. What United are doing here is just making it sound like they are still very, very tight when it comes to the finances and they're not going to spend a lot. There's a definite ploy here from Manchester United in the way that they're letting this news come out at the moment. It still could be a smokescreen for something else, by the way. This all could be, and we could be led down that path again of thinking that this is the transfer waiting to happen, and then bang, something else goes on. I'm still very aware of that, but very, very clear here that they're looking at the wages, they're looking at the contract, they're looking at the transfer fee, the structuring, obviously the agents' fees, all of that comes into play with squad to ratio, financial fair play rules that are kicking in from the 1st of July this year. So that all comes into play. Then Ben Jacobs, you go across to the other type of journalist, says that Manchester United were willing to meet Aurélien Tchouameni's new contract offer, which was given to him by Real Madrid. Ben Jacobs going very, very strong, very, very big, and constantly stuck to the fact that Man United will pay the money for Tchouameni. They're not bothered about the fee. They'll structure it right. The wages are not going to be an issue. But the wages side of it keeps on getting played down by the other journalists close to Manchester United. The ones that don't have that affiliation or that link to United as a correspondent, like I said, they're the ones that are going to do the big breaking news and breaking stories. And the people within the clubs that they know will probably give them more dirt than what any of the other local ones will. And this is where you're getting the big news. I think with what's been said already, we all know that United can comfortably afford the wages for Aurélien Tchouaméni, and they can afford the transfer fee. It's just whether they want to do it. That's the thing. Now, we know that they are, and we've been told that this is the dream signing. This is what they want to do. This is where Manchester United's transfer window is going, and this is the way that they want it to go in terms of this type of midfielder who fits everything, gives them their leadership qualities, gives them their experience, and that elite mentality which they need to build within. And you can imagine a midfield then where you've got Tchouameni into Tielemans, into Bruno Fernandes, and you go and buy another experienced striker as well. You've got a lot more there, I feel, to really hold on to and say, right, this is actually happening here. This is a real structure of a football team. These types of transfers are the ones that Manchester United used to do all of the time. They pinpoint an area of the pitch and part of the team that really needs that improvement. And if there's a player there that gives them what they want, then they go and they get that player. Obviously, the finances are different now, and the club is run differently completely. We have just completely destroyed ourselves from within. We've imploded basically with poor management around. So United will be very careful with this transfer still if it does come off and if it is doable. But there is definitely movement here. And then when you look at the Tchouameni situation and why it's happening, like we were discussing this morning, more news. Rodri has agreed personal terms with Real Madrid and transfer talks and transfer fee have now started. It looks like Perez. Now, Romano hasn't done this in his latest video or said that Perez has actually confirmed this, but there are other journalists now saying that talks are on transfer fee. It's all over the radio today. Everyone's talking about Rodri leaving. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and obviously City are looking to cash in and then obviously bring someone else in. They can't afford to lose Bernardo Silva for free, then Rodri for free. They do have to bring some money in somewhere. So I think the decision was known. I've listened to the Athletics correspondent for Manchester City talking about this today. There was an acceptance from Manchester City that Rodri was going to go, and that is this year. Pep's gone. There's nothing for him to stay for. He's got 1 more year left. And obviously Manchester City are thinking we might as well cash in now. They're losing some of their big players for nothing. Obviously, you've got De Bruyne, you've got Bernardo Silva, and there is something admirable in that. But eventually, it does come down to the point where, right, okay, Pep Guardiola has gone. And Pep Guardiola has had this system in place where if there's a player that wants to leave Manchester City, then out the door, they're gone. That's it. They make a deal happen. And the question was put to the Athletic correspondent today while I was listening to it, is that going to be the same with Maresca? Well, yeah, it's a club stance on this, and it isn't going to change because Maresca's come through the door. It's going to be the same again. So Rodri has made it very clear he wants out. He is going to be sold, and Real Madrid is the only destination. This puts the spanner in the works completely for the Real Madrid structure, which Tchouameni was wanting clarity on. And obviously, he's not signed his contract yet because he's away on holiday. There's no rush for it. He's still got 2 years left and some on his contract anyway at Madrid, so no panic there. This is why we haven't got that news probably. But with Rodri coming in, someone's got to drop. And all of the talk is around Tchouameni at the moment. That could switch as well, don't get me wrong. And I'm saying this deal could just fall flat on its face yet again, and we'll get the contract talks for Real Madrid and Tchouameni. This was never on. You cannot ignore the fact that they've got Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouameni, Bernardo Silva, and they're about to bring Rodri in as well. One big name has to go at least. And I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to, if 2 players wanted to move out, because Camavinga's got his chance now. Tchouameni's going, but then they've just brought 2 more midfielders in to compete alongside him as well. So I would not be surprised one bit if you see a couple of exits. There is lots of hints from the correspondents and journalists around Real Madrid at the moment talking about big players leaving. Obviously, there is probably going to be that news of Vinicius Jr., leaving Real Madrid. That's a big story. We'll touch on that in a minute because it does impact Manchester United. And everyone laughing about me talking about Vinicius Jr. coming to Manchester United the other day. Like I said, the other day, Man United are being used in this, and that was my stance with it. But if Arsenal can buy, and anyone in the Premier League can buy Vinicius Jr., well, anyone who's really competing up there in the Champions League, that is anyway. So yeah, it is a real thing. And Vinicius Jr. leaving Real Madrid is a definite happening now. We'll move on to that in a moment, but let's get into your chat on this and let's see where you're all at opinion-wise with it and what is happening, because I do think that there is a real chance here that this is going to keep on gathering momentum each day now until it gets completely either kiboshed or something actually happens anyway. But let's get into your thoughts on this and let's see which way you think it's going. Hard to imagine United don't already know what wages Tchouameni wants if they're in for him. Good point, Daniel. Very good point. Manchester United will be aware of what wages Rodri's on right now. We kind of already are aware of Rodri's wages as well. We actually know what he's on, going off what's been reported, and it isn't a lot of money. It's nowhere near. I mean, he's on less money than Mason Mount is, for God's sake. So you cannot tell me that Manchester United are not willing to pay Tchouameni's wages. I've never had this, and I've never had this stance. I think United would pay it, because we always go back to the line where Ineos said right at the start, the best players and the most expensive players, the ones that are earning a lot of money, have to be playing on the pitch consistently. And that's what Tchouameni will do. We can't treat Tchouameni like another transfer. He's not a bargain basement transfer. He's elite. He's won everything. And he's coming in his prime. You have to pay for that player. And I don't think United will have a problem with that because they're buying the best. And if you've got the best, you pay for the best. And I think United are very, very aware of that. They're not thinking that this is a Santos, no disrespect type of transfer, or a Tillemans where they're on comfortable wages under 200 grand a week. No, Tchouameni should be on between 250 and 300 grand a week wages. That's what he deserves to be on for what he's won and where he is in his career.
So guys, remember to subscribe to the channel, to send in your comments, I'm reading you, to like this video, and then let me know your opinion, guys. On Yan Diomande, Real Madrid, PSG, on Manu Kone, Man United or not, but also Danilo, Baleba, Rodri, Bruno Guimaraes, several stories, your opinion, guys. And as always, remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon. Every single day with Fabrizio. Thank you. Ciao, see you soon.